Yo, what's good, guys? It's Sam R or Sammer or Sam here, whatever you want to call me. First off, shout out to Kenny Beats. Super thankful for this opportunity. Didn't expect this to happen at all, honestly. Shout out to Eris as well, and shout out to everybody in the stream that was supporting me. Appreciate all you guys. Sorry if this is cringy as hell. I've never recorded this kind of thing before. Took me like an hour to figure out, but finally got it. So yeah, if you want to listen to the beat first, I'll put it in the description. But basically, I'm just going to go through all the elements and kind of explain how I made them and my thought process. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. First thing I did was just listen to the sample for anything that caught my ear. And I immediately just grabbed this horn and tried to manipulate it to turn it into an instrument. What I ended up doing was grabbing an EQ and boosting a tone like so, and I duplicated that a bunch. All this is really doing is you're pushing a sine wave out of the sample, so you could do it with pretty much anything. And it may seem kind of pointless because you could grab a stock plugin and stuff, but sometimes the results are interesting, so that's why I did it. You just get a interesting sounding or a nice envelope. So I threw that into a MIDI track and just started playing on my keys for chords. Yeah. And I ended up with this progression. So this was a mixture of just playing on my laptop keys and clicking in because I don't have a MIDI keyboard right now. But I made it work. Then under there, I added this drum loop. I made this by just dragging a drum loop from my samples and putting it into Ableton Slicer and playing it on my laptop again. And it just has a compressor with a soft clip on it. Under there is a hi-hat. This came from the sample. I don't remember exactly how I made it, but I'm pretty sure I just grabbed a part from over here, this granular sounding section, and pitched it up a ton until it sounded like a hi-hat. Right under that, just an open hat. And if you look on the right, you can see that I have some stuff pushed back with the track delay. And that's just something I do to make it sound a little bouncier. You could do the same thing by just grabbing something and shifting it. But I don't know, that's just a little easier, so that's how I do it. So under that hat is just another kick. This is one of the last things I added, and it was just because I felt like it wasn't punchy enough. So yeah, I just layered that. Then for this section, I just added some elements to make it more interesting and develop it a little bit. So this stuff right here is all from the sample. This is a record scratch kind of noise that I found. These are just some glitchy things. And yeah, I guess these record scratch things made me think of just adding this part. So altogether, it sounds and I'm pretty sure I have a frequency shifter on the master. Yeah. So without it. With it. Yeah. And these beeps or boops or whatever are from the same instrument as the chords. I just copied that and played that on my laptop. Nothing crazy going on. Just another layer right here. So that just brings us to the transition. I threw on a reverb and cranked the wet signal up. And I know Kenny said it on stream. This is 100% Carmack inspired. Go listen to Mr. Carmack if you don't know who that is. Absolute goat. Yeah. Shout out Mr. Carmack. But yeah, so right before the transition, or during the transition, I guess, I added these two samples just to help with the tension. This is from like a Dillip kit, and this one's from like Splice, so they kind of layer it nice. Yeah. And then this right here is obviously the sample. Dude, check it out. I just have a grain delay on it, and another frequency shifter just to spin it down, so to speak. I don't know. And yeah, so that brings us into the drop. I basically started with this 808 pattern right here. I made the glides by putting it into a sampler, turning the pitch bend range up, clicking on the clip, and going to MIDI control pitch bend and just drawing these envelopes in. So I just liked how it sounded. And as you can see, like I chopped it off a bunch. That happened later, just because I like to mix things up, I guess. I don't like when things are just looping. So I took some out and just made it a little different. And yeah, I just layered the kicks under that. If you look over here, you can see that I pushed the 808s back like 13 milliseconds. I do that a lot instead of side chaining because it just sounds like a lot cleaner to me. And I don't think like 808s really need to be side chained anyways. But it makes it so like the low frequencies aren't clashing or something. I don't know. So yeah, then here's this clap. Nothing too crazy. Open hat. You can like barely even hear this. It's kind of pointless. Here's a snare group. Oh crap. And then this perk. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for oh, the snap too. Yeah, that's it for the drums. So I started adding like the melodic parts of the drop. Started with this. This came from just like a sample that I have. Some dude just saying bruh. Basically. But I threw a vocoder on it and a chorus to give it some width. And I sidechained it to the kick. There's like a frequency shifter on there too, doing some things. So yeah, I'll play that with the drums first. So then I started like incorporating this part because I wanted there to be like some continuity. So after this reverb part is over, I threw on like 2 OTTs, which make it like turns it into like a pluck instead of like a slow kind of thing. And yeah, there's a vocoder as well on this, and a frequency shifter. Yes. Doing that. And I think I panned it. Yeah, I did. So you can hear that. Little tip in Ableton, if you want to like make those envelopes super fast, you can highlight a little part and click on one of these shapes and it'll just do it for you. Oops. Like that, as you can see. So yeah, and then the last melodic-ish or like part of the drop is this track. And this actually came from this section right here. I'll show you what I did. So basically, I'm gonna have to duplicate this actually. Oops. I basically just got a distortion plugin called Thermal by Output, I want to say. Yeah, this is definitely an Output thing. Yeah, so I went down and just started trying presets and ended up trying this one. And as you can see, that happened to it. So I froze that because I wanted to like manipulate it more. And as you can see, like if I pull this little piece and put it here, same thing. Pretty much. I mean, yeah. So I layered that originally and it just sounded way too busy. So I ended up slicing it up and taking some parts out and like reversing some of it like that. So it fit in better. And I'm trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention this part. This is just an 808 sample. I probably could have made it with this as well, but I didn't want to spend time doing that. I guess I could talk about my 808 chain briefly while we're over on this part of the track. But so I first took out all the high ends, converted it to mono, and then I put a delay on it to give it width, which like some people don't like, some people like, but I personally like when my 808s are wide. Some people think that's like a sin for some reason, and I don't know why, but yeah, I just liked how it sound. So I could play it without the delay. You can hear it's just like a mono signal with the delay. It just like fits in the mix better, I think. And then I added a saturator to like bring back more high end, so it also was just more present in the mix. But yeah, I guess like the last things are just these 3 tracks down here. This came from the sample. It's the very end. Just a little glitchy thing. And this also came from the sample. So yeah, and yeah, I mean that's the entire beat. If you have any more questions, you can ask them below, and I will get back to you. Or you can message me on the various things that I put in the description for you to message me on. But yeah, I mean, I hope you took something away from this. This isn't like advice, I should say. This is just kind of what I did. There's obviously like infinite ways to make something sound good. You just gotta follow your ear. So yeah, thank you guys. That's all I got for this one. Hope everybody has a good day.